How to Train Your Useless Dragon by Mika Crispy on AO3. Chapter 28. How to Face the Elders. Katsuki feels like someone just pushed him out of a cliff. One moment, he's under the sun, feeling like he's on top of the world. The next, the ground vanishes beneath his feet, and he's plunging to his death. "What do you mean, he's gone?" he yells in a mix of fury and disbelief. "How could you let him?" "I didn't let him go. He said he should be the one to talk to the elders. He wanted me to stay behind to protect the village in case things didn't work out," Mina pleaded, with tears in her eyes. "I told him it wasn't a good idea, but he didn't listen," she complained softly. "Deku is gone. Simply, like that. He's gone. Just this afternoon they were facing an enemy army in front of every warrior in their village and winning. Just a couple hours ago, they were sharing their first kiss, and now Deku is gone as if none of that mattered." A part of Katsuki is in deep pain and wants nothing more than to hide in his room and nurse his broken heart. But another part, a louder and wilder part, is furious. How dare Deku leave him behind after everything they talked about? How dare Mina and the other dragons keep this information from Katsuki for so long? How dare these fucking elders to demand explanations? How dare the whole fucking world try to keep him and Deku apart? Bakugou was a fool. He got caught up in his own happiness and embarrassment over kissing Deku that he didn't realize the warning signs. There must have been warning signs. Deku can't lie for shit. And yet, Katsuki only realized something was amiss when the hours passed and his dragon didn't show up for dinner. But he wouldn't waste a second longer. He'll get Deku back. Then he'll kick the idiot's ass for doing something so stupid. And then he'll kiss him, even more stupid, to convince the dragon to never leave him again. With that thought in mind, Katsuki spins on his heel and leaves Kirishima's house. The street is dark, the moon is high on the sky, but the young Viking doesn't second guess his decision for even a second. "Bro, where are you going?" the redhead calls for him. "I'm gonna go get Deku back," he answers, marching towards a bench. "How are you gonna get there?" Mina asks, running after him. "Like I always did, by fucking boat. I don't need any of you big lizards' help to do anything I want to do," Katsuki answers furiously. He's so angry that Deku thought he had to do this on his own. As if! Katsuki is the one who taught the damn runt how to fight, how to hunt, how to use his own goddamn powers. The other dragons never managed to help Deku with that. And now the shitty nerd thinks he needs to save Katsuki? Not in a million years. "I can take you there," Mina says, and is promptly shut down. "No! Deku is right. We need someone to defend the village in case the dragons try to pull a shitty move." "Then I'll go with you," Kirishima interjects. "We can take one of the bigger and faster boats." "Whatever, just don't slow me down," Katsuki barks. "Mina, get Kami and Sero," Shitty Hair asks. Bakugou doesn't look back to see what came through that. As soon as he arrives at the beach, he picks the fastest boat around. It's a big and heavy boat that's already in the water, anchored down to not get lost in sea. Usually this boat isn't even used for fishing, just for battle and diplomatic work, so he isn't ready to sail like the others. But Bakugo knows that any minute he spends preparing the boat will be paid off in double when the vessel starts perking through the waves. The young Viking fixes the sails, ties the ropes, and with Kirishima's help, pulls the anchor. Just as he's ready to steal away, Sero and Kaminari arrive. The boys came running, their breaths ragged, and sweat dripping down their temples. "Dude!" Kaminari screams as he jumps onto the boat. "Mina told us what happened. We are going with you." "If you two are coming, you better be ready to not get in my way. There'll be dragons, fucking loads of them, and they aren't gonna be the harmless idiots that you guys met," Bakugo says seriously, giving a pointed look to Sero. Katsuki isn't stupid. He knows this is a suicide mission, and that things can go terribly wrong at the drop of a hat. There is no doubt in his mind that this will be dangerous, Hell, he intends to challenge several dragons for their outdated rules and demand them release Izuku to him. Bakugou doesn't want his first and maybe only act as a leader of his village be to take these 3 young Vikings to their death. But he also understands that his friends are warriors like him, that they have their pride, and that leaving them behind would be patronizing and very hypercritical of him. Still, Katsuki feels the need to remind his friends what this all entails. Izuku's our friend too, Baku, Zero says, looking him straight in the eye. And we're warriors of the village of Masafu. We will not let fear stand in our way. With a court knot, they all ready to go. The wind is cold, it's piercing through his skin. Katsuki has never sailed in the dead of night, and he can't help but be thankful for the moonlight lighting their way. They'll travel the whole night and be lucky to get in a big island in the middle of the dragon's territory. Actually, they'll be lucky if they aren't attacked and have to fight against hostile dragons as soon as they cross their territory. After talking with Deku more about the dragon's defense structure, Katsuki came to understand it was sheer dumb luck that he wasn't killed by a party of the 3 adult dragons the day he met Izuku. For a miracle, his friends seem to understand that Katsuki isn't feeling like being social, and leave him alone during most of the trip there. It's also a challenge to handle a big and complex boat like the one they took, with only 4 people. So they have to keep their focus. Only when the sun starts peeking on the horizon, and they see the small dot over the waves that is the first island of the Dragon's archipelago, is that Kirishima comes to stand by his side. I know you probably don't want to hear this. The redhead starts. Then don't fucking say anything. Bakugou interrupts him. They brought swords, Kami and Zero, Kirishima says seriously. Not our personal weapons, but swords that were being prepared for the battle against Shigaraki. 1 for each of us, if we need it. If we attack a dragon, they won't listen to us, and they might do something worse to Deku, Katsuki says without taking his eyes off the horizon. I know, I'm just telling you, because we don't know if we have the chance of getting close enough to free Izuku. If things go bad, Katsuki starts, and Kirishima interrupts him. We'll fight with you. You'll go home. I'm sure the purple fucker will help you guys out. He's sweet on Dunce face. If things go bad, you guys fly away from there as fast as you can. Warn my mother, and leave Masatafu behind. Bro, we ain't leaving our home, the redhead pleads. The village isn't the place the houses are, shitty hair. Mom knows that. She'll understand the need to leave the place. Take Mina and any other lizard who'd help you guys escape with the humans. Whoever stands with us is our people, no matter which shape they come from. And you? Kirishima asks, with tears in his eyes, dreading the answer but already knowing it anyways. My home is where Deku is, and I'm not leaving him behind, Katsuki says with a deep certainty. No matter what. Whatever protest Kirishima has died on his tongue because one of the waves explodes, splashing water through the whole deck, and out of it a huge teal dragon shows up. The dragon is very different from the ones they met before. Their tail and hind legs look more like something that should be on a fish than on a lizard. Katsuki has heard of this type of dragon, but hasn't ever seen one. A water dragon. The water dragon jumps on top of their boat, occupying at least a third of the deck. Every one of the Vikings stop on their trails, and their bodies ready to run for their swords, that are resting against the main mass of the front of sign of danger. No one moves a finger, Katsuki yells at his friends, without taking his eyes from the dragon. The deep, black eyes on the reptile's face look at him with something akin to curiosity, and Bakugou decides to take his chances to talking to the lizard. I'm here to save Izuku, Bakugou tells the dragon, as earnest as he can manage. In a blink of an eye, the water dragon transformed before them, where stood the huge-tailed beast, making their dragon tilt of their weights. Suddenly there was a small, skinny girl. Her limbs looked too long for her body. Her clothes seemed to be made of seaweed. Her back is curved, and she has the longest hair out of any of the young Vikings he's ever seen. You're Izuku's friend, the girl states, struggling with her words, even worse than Izuku and Ochako did. I'm Su. Welcome. She smiles sweetly for them, and the tension disappears instantly. Yes, we're Izuku's friends. Can you show us where to find him? Kirishima asks, smiling to the girl as if they're old friends. Above asked me to take you there, she says, pointing to the horizon. Follow me. With one last smile, the girl jumps into the water and emerges as a dragon in front of their boat. The four boys scramble around to set sail after her as fast as they could. Well, I guess that helps with the risk of getting caught up in a fight, Kirishima says, smiling brightly. His positive outlook of the situation, however, wasn't really reaching Katsuki. If the violet asshole sent her, it means he knew we were coming. It means he knew Izuku wouldn't get out of this place before we arrived. And whatever is happening, it's serious, Katsuki says with his eyes on the horizon, hoping that the Dragon's Island showed up sooner rather than later. Every dragon knows. As Sue leads them to the big island in the center of the dragon's territory, more and more dragons show up around their boat. Some are inside the water, some are flying above them, some are just looking at them from smaller islands perched and rocks in the middle of the ocean. But every pair of lizard eyes are on their boat. Zero shakes like a leaf and hugs Kaminari while Kirishima waves to the dragons as if he's the main attraction in a palace. Bakugou just keeps focus on the big island because he knows that's where Izuku is. And that's where he'll find the damn elders everyone talks about. As the sand reaches the bottom of the boat and it gets stuck, Katsuki wastes no time in jumping off. Even though the water is still knee-high, Sue is waiting for them in her dragon form on the beach together with Hitoshi. Several other dragons look at them. They're scattered around the beach and tree line. Bakugou stalks towards a true dragon he knows without a second thought. His determination doesn't waver, not even once as he marches on for almost certain death, and he doesn't even spare a glance at his friends who just got the courage to jump off the boat. Where is Izuku? Katsuki asks seriously to the purple dragon. Hitoshi shifts into his human form, and all the dragons watching make a sound of surprise and disbelief. The violet fucker has a stern look on his face that doesn't make Katsuki's anxiety release its hold on his heart. He's talking to the elders right now. The dragon informs him. Then I'm going to do that too, he says, determined. I don't think that's advisable. We have one elder who is very much against humans, of any kind, Hitoshi says, shaking his head. Do I look like I give a fuck what they like? Katsuki retorts. I want to take Deku home, and I want to do it now. Bakugou. Hitoshi! Kaminari interrupts him, getting closer with a worried look on his face. We need to save Izuku. Kaminari and Hitoshi exchange a long, silent look before the dragon sighs in defeat. Follow me. Hitoshi leads them through a thick jungle towards the dormant volcano in the middle of the island. As they get closer, the Viking can see the sides of the volcano is completely covered by small caves, from which dragons look down at them with curious expressions. They must be the first humans to have ever set foot at the heart of the dragon territory, and yet, all of them received with curious and wariness. Deku said dragons would be afraid of us, Katsuki says to Hitoshi, interrupting the little whispers with Kaminari. Yeah, usually, I guess. Dragons are afraid of finding humans' boats at sea, Hitoshi explained, seeming a little confused by the question. None of them are afraid now. I suppose it's hard to be afraid when the human come alone, without weapons, and are surrounded by so many other dragons, the purple dragon says, shrugging. As they go up the volcano, the curious gazes follow them until they reach the entrance of a huge cave, way bigger than any of the other entrances around. It must be some kind of city hall thing of the dragons. We're here, Hitoshi says, and Katsuki keeps walking towards the cave. Wait, shouldn't we talk about this? Make some kind of plan? I don't need a fucking plan. I'm just gonna talk to the old geezers. Katsuki snaps at him. Dude, if he said we need a plan, then we need... Sarah argues. Then we what? There's nothing we can do. If they want us dead, we'll be dead. We didn't bring our weapons from the boat. Even if we did, We can't fight a whole island of dragons, Katsuki yells, frustrated at the three of his friends, and Itoshi, who looks at him as if he's crazy. If any of you are afraid, then just fucking stay here. But I'm gonna go save Deku. I'm gonna talk to these fuckers and say they don't have the right to tell us who to talk to, who to be friends with, who to love. They don't have the right to keep so much hidden and then blame us for not knowing. And then they can't expect things to get better if they're just going to hide away and not talk about it. You're incredibly mouthy for something so puny. A deep voice rumbles behind him, and Katsuki turns to look at the cave. Standing there are several dragons of different sizes and colors. One of them is so tall that it could barely pass through the cave entrance. That golden dragon must be at least 6 meters tall, but is skinny to the point of looking sick. There's also a light blue, tiny, plump dragon. A dragon that's all white. Another that's gray and golden. And then there's a man, a huge man, twice the size of a young Viking, with bulking muscles, red hair, fire as a beard, and cold eyes. Well, you haven't seen nothing yet, big asshole. Now tell me where the fuck is Izuku? Who do you think you are, to come to our territory and start making demands? I should burn you to a crisp and get this whole problem over with. You think I'm the problem? You're the fucking problem. You and all these damn rules. If any of you fuckers had gotten your big heads out of your asses and began talking to us, we could have prevented so much killing. That's enough, human. You'll hold your tongue, or I'm gonna make sure you won't say another word again. That's enough, human. You hold your tongue, or I'm gonna make sure you won't say another word ever again. The big guy marches towards Katsuki with a furious expression, fire crackling with every movement. Endeavor, that's enough. The tiny blue dragon becomes an even thinner old lady. She barely reaches the height of a Viking's waist, and looks extremely fragile, but her voice is thunderous. This situation won't be resolved by bullying children. I'm not a child, and I want to know where Deku is. If any of you fuckers hurt him, You're gonna do what, young man? The white dragon becomes a bear? A mouse? Dressed in human clothes? Standing like a man and carrying a teacup? Damn, dragon magic is wacky. As you said before, you're outnumbered and without any weapons. I have something better than weapons, Katsuki says, glaring. And can you tell me what that would be? The bear mouse man asks curiously. Friends. I have these 3 idiots who came with me even though they knew they could get killed. And we got dragons who helped us get here. We have dragons who even went to battle trying to protect us. And dragons who stand behind us to make sure no harm came our way. Hell, even these dragons are looking around right now. Katsuki points to the 100 of little caves on the volcano side, where a huge number of dragons watch this all unfold. They aren't afraid of us, and I bet they could be our friends if we just gave the chance. But you won't have this chance. I can guarantee you that no matter what happens, after today you'll never see a dragon again. Endeavor says, with his icy, cold eyes. We didn't get to see Izuku at all this chapter. That's weird. I'm pretty sure we've seen him every single chapter up to this point. I think this is the first chapter where we're Izuku-less. That is weird. That's weird. Okay, okay. Oh, I just got a notification. Who texted me? Nobody, because I have no friends. Let's see. My first note is, let me just talk about how I feel like this is a trope in the My Hero Academia fanfic. My Hero Academia overall, even in the My Hero Academia main, this trope is in there, where we have Katsuki Bakugo risking his life for one Izuku Midoriya, who is, has no has no survival instincts, has no self-worth for himself. We see this, obviously, spoiler alert for season 6, we see this in season 6, we see this in 6, oh, someone sent me money. Okay, we see this in season 6, we see this in season, Yeah, we see this in season 6 with that. I think we see it twice. Oh my god, the amount of times we see this, it's immense. I swear to god. Bakugo just keeps on doing this. Like, don't get me wrong, Izuku does the same thing for Bakugo, right? But it seems like Bakugo does it more for Izuku, and I see this in fanfiction a lot, right? The last thing I want to talk about is Hitoshi. Hitoshi just going, no, I'm not taking this to the elders. Kaminari just like, we're gonna ignore the fact that I just got a call. Kaminari is just like, oh my god, please, you know, we came here to save Izuku. And Hitoshi's like, okay, fine. Alright. Follow me. Like, that's gay. That's... I don't know if the mic picked it up. Hold up, let me whisper a little more louder. That's gay. Did it pick it up? I hope it picked it up. Probably didn't. It's not picking it up. Okay. At least I don't think so. Unless you just have like 3 of me whispering, which if you do, I'm so sorry. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.